How's it going this evening? It's a beautiful evening tonight in the beautiful city of Houston, Texas. It's your boy, Darius Marquise Kendrick, other known as DMK, here in the building, um, in the sanctuary, as you can see. I'm a bit late, per usual, but hey, wouldn't be late if it wasn't me, huh? Or wouldn't be me if I wasn't late. Either one goes. Either one will suffice. I just want to thank everyone for the support thus far, all of the growth that's happened on this channel. God has really just been good to me. I can't even lie to you guys. Um, I've had some roadblocks, had some things to go wrong or seemingly wrong, things that seemed like I thought I'd never make it out, but here I am, and I stand on all 10 toes um, as a testimony and a testament, a walking vessel full of divine power. Um, but I couldn't do it without you guys out there who supported me and support me to this day. Everyone who subscribes and tunes in and um, all that good stuff. I got some new merch coming, got some new music coming. Everyone who's commenting and sharing and spreading the word, I appreciate that. You know, the other day I had someone come up to me and tell me, well, they asked me rather, if I made R&B music because they was like, Darius Marquise, I think I've come across you before. Um, and I'm getting a lot more of that lately. You know, I was at the, I'm not trying to gas myself up, but I was at the store and somebody just did a double take. You know, it's like, and it seems like it happens more often, like you look familiar. Then I went over to, um, what's the name of that place? Hinky and Pilot. And, you know, it's a rule that they don't introduce people on open mic nights. But just so happened that someone that I knew was playing the keyboard that night, and I went to speak and say hello, and he's like, "Hey, man, I heard your new music." Da 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 da. And I didn't realize that what I was doing was really being seen, being watched, being felt, being heard. But when that man introduced me that night, he said, "We've got some original music coming." And like I said, they don't introduce people, but it's about how you connect with people, um, the genuine message you have to speak. Who are you? Is your spirit right? And everyone is talking about your spirit this, your spirit that, talking about God and the devil and all this. A lot of them are just clout chasing. A lot of them are just um, pretending. You know, they're using Jesus for clout. They're using God for clout. But I'm not one of those people. I'm someone who's going to, um, I'm going to just be me, whether you like it or not. Um, Nothing has to be forced. Nothing has to be um, fabricated, made up. I'm not from the hood. Never proclaimed to be. Never wanted to be. It's not like I never spent time there. I spent time there. Most of my cousins are from the hood. Most of my hell, all my family's from the hood. And I love them to death. They love me to death. And one thing about us as a people, we don't like to see other people make it out of dire situations. But I believe I'm the curse breaker. I believe I'm here to break generational curses. I believe I'm here to call out the ills of society through my music and through the way I approach things and how I carry myself. I'm 25 years old. I just turned 25 on March 4th. March 4th, 2025, 2024. 25 years old. And, you know, growing up, I always felt like I wasn't worthy of living that long. Everyone always made me feel like I was so um, spoiled and um, silver spoon fed that I really didn't matter. My feelings didn't matter. Um, I'd never been through anything. I've never felt anything. I've never been through any kind of pain, felt any kind of disappointment. Never had to cry at night. Never had to do any of that. Because from their eyes, I had it all. But I just want to tell you, looks can deceive. Everybody has a thorn in their side. But the one thing that we have to do is be mindful and be present in how we approach others and how we carry ourselves and how we treat our fellow man. Um, we're not here to compete, compare, and hold one up higher than the other. And we all, we have people that we hold up to high regard, but nothing that we do in this life is mundane and superficial. That's what we have. That's what we've designed. Nothing that God has created is like that. It's real, it's organic. I'm not going to preach and talk about it just to get views and likes and all that good stuff. I'm going to do it because it's my calling. Whether 10 people see this video or 10,000 people see this video. What are you doing with the time you have? Forget all the views, the likes, and shares, and attention. Forget all the material things. Forget all the pleasures of this world. What are you doing with your life? And money can buy happiness. I can attest to that. I can get some money and buy some things, but all of that type of happiness is temporary. What are you doing with the time you have? Because I don't know about you, the time I spend on earth with family and creating music and creating art and traveling and getting in tune with God, knowing, getting deeper into who I am as a man and to who the Creator is that created me. Because He's done something special in my life. So I would be kind of dumb not to figure out, who is this? I'm blessed. It's like blessings just fall in my lap. It's not like bad things don't happen. But I'm blessed. And this is my first King Talk on YouTube. And I hope that this is a snowball effect of things that will come. I believe that this is the catalyst, and this moment feels special. So, as I continue with King Talk, give me 1 second. I'm not going to address any mess or anything that's um, negative. No negative energy tonight. Only positive energy because I'm too blessed to be walking around stressed, walking around angry, depressed, and anxious. Um, and I just want to, first of all, talk about. Wait, before I get into that, Lighters in the Air, my newest single, one of my newest singles. Go check that out. Um, it has a someone, what's his name? Bankroll, a friend of my friend who films my videos and a few of my videos, told me that I reminded him somewhat of a modern day Jimi Hendrix, right? And I don't know. Lighters in the Air has somewhat of a. I'm not trying to be Jimi Hendrix or anything like that, but a lot of my music has a retro feel. So if you wouldn't mind going to hear it, supporting me, um, I would definitely appreciate that. Um, and without further ado, let's get started talking about this. Let's talk about this Ty Tribbett thing. I would like to just say I understand what a lot of people are saying about he's wrong about this and wrong about that. What kind of man is he to stand up and speak and say, as boldly as he said it, the institution of church is whack? You know, a lot of people got started in the church, me included. A lot of people, even back in the 1960s, if you can hear Dick Gregory talk about it. He said the church started the black plays and the black musicians, the black speakers, the black poets, the black entertainers. A lot of them started out in the black church because they didn't have any other outlet but the black church. And the church in general. You know, the story of Jesus, the story of redemption, the story of crucifixion, his love, his undying, unwavering love. How could you, that I'm trying to look from their perspective. How could you say something so um, unwelcoming? How could you say something so bad? How could you throw the very people under the bus that helped you get where you are? But something said, Darius, what if he's right? Because I know for a fact that I've said some of the same things similar to that. I've said a lot worse, and some people may know. If you know, you know. But I said it out of anger because I saw a lot of things growing up in church that I shouldn't have seen. And let's go past it. I saw homosexual stuff. I saw I would say I was I was a very young age. And I saw two of my older cousins who were male go in the bathroom with each other. And that was early 2000s. And I never really told anyone about that, and then I ended up telling somebody else in the family about it. And a lot of things began to make sense. I saw an old preacher grope on his deacon after church. They were standing by the organ, and I was standing further back in the back of the sanctuary, and people were walking out, and they thought everybody was gone, but I saw him, and he grabbed him from behind and groped him. These are two old men. I know preachers who messing around, and it's almost like a sex cult. It's almost like a sex trafficking ring. I played at an African church recently, and the pastor was messing with all the women, all of them, messing with both the secretaries, doing a lot. So we always like to run to the defense of the church, but nobody likes to say anything when we call you out for your nonsense and your bullshit and your hypocrisy. You guys are hypocrites. A lot of you. I'm not perfect. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. There was this lady at the other church I used to play at. She was very disrespectful. But she lives with two women. These are three grown women who live together. And they ride to church together. And they stay together. And they always in her office with her. She's the choir director. And she's surrounded with two women who weren't a part of the church. I had been there for years. But all of a sudden they show up and what? It's a strap-on fest in church. Right. So let me just say that. And then you go back to the African church. My check bounces. I walk outside after rehearsal, and the pastor's got his secretary hemmed up in the corner, grabbing her by her waist, like he's getting ready to lean in for a kiss. This is not his wife. I've seen him with his wife. And then they say, hey, we got to bring your pay down. See, little shicey stuff like that. I already didn't like Africans anyway. I've had multiple instances with Africans, and those people over at said institute in Houston, that library, they tried to scam me out of my money. A lot of people try to come to the defense of Africans, and I don't like them. I never will, because they always do shiesty stuff. I only know a couple good ones, but I'm giving them the side eye. Just watching, just waiting, just trying to figure out because a lot of people are just not built to be people of integrity, people of honesty. It's a dog eat dog world. But back to this church stuff. Ty Tribbett was right, in my opinion, because we throw him under the bus for what he was saying, but we don't throw the Pope under the bus for aiding and abetting pedophiles all over America. Aiding and abetting. You think they got tunnels under the Jewish synagogue? Check these Catholic temples, these Catholic churches. They got tunnels under there too. They sex trafficking little boys. It's in plain sight. And nobody's going to say anything about it. Who's going to say something? Somebody has to speak up. And I don't care if it's me or whoever. A change has to happen. A change has to happen. And we got babies out here. I got a little brother. I got a little sister. And we take these things for granted. But what if it was your sibling? What if it was your child? What if it was your cousin, your brother, your mother, your father, anybody? They do a lot of things under the guise of religion. And there's no accountability over it because we always do this weak ass um, love thy neighbor weak passive bullshit. And it gets us nowhere. It only gets us nowhere. It's a detriment to our society. Something's got to change. Y'all's way ain't working. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked since never, ever has it worked. Y'all, let me show you something. Y'all have adapted the pagan ways of the very people who killed Jesus. Where they do that? Y'all are stupid. So stupid. And nobody's going to say it. Nobody has enough courage. I'm surrounded by idiots, surrounded by robots. Everything y'all are doing is pagan. It's almost a slap in the face to the Jesus that you hold up against everybody else. So stop. Let me show you. Because now I'm worked up. So if we go to
Explore new construction homes at Oakwood Estates in Waller, Texas, along with beautiful and
I hold that the church's effectiveness is greatly limited by the lack of change that takes place in the lives of those who claim to know the Lord. I'm taken aback at just a number of Christians who are brought on these worldly podcasts, and it seems like to me the singers are the worst ones, who just don't mind just dissing the church, and I'm really taken aback by those who will still buy their records. I'm not buying anything by any artist if you get a chance to speak to the world and you let them coax you into sitting there for the next hour or 30 minutes criticizing the church and criticizing Christians. I was watching one, and the guy said to the man who's being interviewed, since you are a gospel artist, do you feel special pressure from the church? Do you feel that they're putting pressure on you, and that you have a greater responsibility? Everybody expects you to be perfect, and all the eyes are on you. See, that's the hook. I was talking to someone today. I was talking to Brother Gary. I said, Gary, listen to this. Now let me show you the hook. Because the way it starts, the way these interviews start, they start out ingratiating themselves with the guests, telling them how wonderful they are. See, the devil knows how to make a fool out of you. And you're the only one who don't know.
He's making a fool
It's
out
a
of
game.
you, sir.
Because see, you're just sitting there so happy to be there. You don't know that you were brought, that you were invited for a specific purpose. See, because I'm telling you, I'm believing that few and few of us actually have the Holy Spirit. Because the Holy Spirit is supposed to lead us and guide us into all truth. John.
Okay. So let me be honest. If I were 2019, 2017 Darius, I would, if I were in that city, I'd be a part of that man's church. He's got a good word. He's got a good message. Convicts you, makes you feel right and good, and like, yeah, 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 Reverend, preach it. But let's not deflect from what Ty Tribbett is saying and bringing light to. There's a lot of messed up stuff that nobody's going to talk about. And instead of addressing whatever happened to Ty Tribbett, and is still going on probably, instead of addressing the issue and trying to diagnose what's wrong, you're going to chastise the man. Whatever happened to sticks and stones may break my bones, words don't ever hurt you. How could you, what happened to upon this rock I built my church and nothing shall go against it? What's so bad about what he said? Whack. Whack is just a word. But if I were to say, fuck all that church shit, then I'm the bad guy. Just like Leandria Johnson. Is she crazy as well? Y'all threw her under the bus when she said it. Y'all threw me under the bus when I said it. Y'all throw Ty under the bus when he says it. Everybody's crazy. No, maybe you guys are the ones that are crazy. Maybe you guys are the ones who are brainwashed. Maybe you guys are the ones who sweep everything under the rug, like child molestation, money laundering. I've seen it. Homosexual stuff. A lot of y'all's first ladies know that their pastor is gay, their husband is gay, but they go along with it. They get him an armor bearer and let the armor bearer help him around and carry his briefcase around and all that good stuff. That's the type of stuff that's going on. But nobody says anything about it. I'm sure if, they got some stuff going on in the Church of God in Christ, Bishop really, he's going to turn a blind eye to that stuff. There's some stuff I've heard about Kojic. I'm not a part of it, but come on. Let's just be honest. A lot of these preachers are just gatekeepers for the elite. They're not going to talk about what's really going to happen. They are gatekeepers for the elite. We have one of the Rothschilds just died. They always say Rothschilds, but Rothschild just died. These are things that should be talked about. We have people who they're aiding and abetting the system. What you don't say matters. We appreciate what you're saying about this, and you're standing up for the church. But what you don't say matters also. Just like you don't say that you don't speak to your own child who is allegedly a homosexual, and that's why you don't speak to him. Why should we listen to you? You're not speaking about things. You've adopted the pagan Catholic Roman nonsense that is the reason that your people are in such a messed up, jacked up predicament that they're in right now. And they got you used to being beat into submission through the story of Jesus. that you think that slavery was normal. Your ancestors getting beat and tortured and getting all that shit beat into them. You don't talk about that, you normalize it. You make everything feel, it's like, I heard a bishop from the Church of God in Christ, he said, sin, I forgot what he said. A preacher is like the candy man. Yeah, some preachers are like candy man, and they make sin taste good. Okay, but I would like to say a lot of you preachers make slavery taste good. A lot of you guys make being subservient and weak and submissive to an oppressive government taste good. And I feel like fighting back, if that's a sin, I'm one sinful guy. You know, I may be a thin guy, but I've never really had nobody just run up and swing on me or do anything crazy like that ever in their life. Because people know without knowing who to do it with and who not to do it with. And it's just one thing, you know, that's just it, you know. I don't mean to attack anyone, but I just think that a lot of preachers are gatekeepers for the elite. I'm not against church. I'm not against any of that. But the stuff I've experienced in the church, y'all's way ain't working. It'll work. It's working. But it's I believe beyond the four walls is good, because y'all are kissing the Pope's ring, but the Pope is kissing on little boys' butts. Y'all are kissing on the Pope's ring, but he's doing that. Y'all are out here idolizing, just like y'all say that we idolize celebrities and all that stuff, which is wrong. You guys idolize some of the wrong things too. You guys idolize each other. Who can hoop the best? Who can hoop the best? Who can preach the best? And you're sweeping everything in your house under the rug. I don't know what you got going on, but it's something. Whether it be not talking to your son, whether it be, a lot of stuff. I've heard so many stories. But we just want to say that the church is all good, all peaches and roses. There's nothing in life that's all peaches and roses. Y'all say church is a business when it's business time, and business gets dirty. It gets down and grimy. And don't nobody want to talk about that part. And you know it. You know it. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about the fact that, like, let's say, give me one sec. That Obama movie, Leave the World Behind. Preachers aren't going to talk about this. They want to scare. They feel like they're going to scare people away. But why people don't understand, Hollywood is nothing but the greatest, grandest, most majestic witches that are here on earth, channeling visions from the future and manifesting certain things and casting spells over the masses. That's really what it is. Hollywood is witchcraft. That's what the name comes from. The witch's wand and the witch's broom were made from the holly tree, wood from the holly tree. That's what Hollywood comes from. I don't know how many times I got to say it. Hollywood is nothing but witchcraft. If you want to be accepted by Hollywood, you want to be accepted by the grandest witches and wizards of all mankind that are alive today. If you could see people's spirits, some people, they would look like something out of 13 Ghosts, a haunted. They would look like a freaking demon, a wildebeest with 3 eyes, a red wolf. A lot of these people are walking around with energy that is demonic, and you don't want to play with it. You playing with it, they're not playing with you. But when you see this movie, Leave the World Behind, they're telling you what's going on. They want to push the world into a civil war and get everybody all riled up and push everybody into a place of desperation, to where we basically just kill ourselves and wipe ourselves out. You know, everything that they're talking about in the news and got you on social media and all that other stuff, it's a distraction. But imagine, you know, we had that little thing where all the social media went out and everything went out. A lot of people's phones went out. What if that happened for a month, 2 months, a year? What would you do? How do we do it? Everything is off these phones. Everything we do. You know, we had a situation here in Texas where all the power went out and all the cell towers went out. What happens? What happens then? During the ice storm, a lot of people forget about that. That was a HARP manufactured event. It wasn't even snow. It was just hard-ass ice. It wasn't even real ice. It was burning. You light it on fire. It would catch it on fire. It would burn. And we want to talk about HARP isn't real. We want to talk about weather modification isn't real. It's all real. And they're doing it to condition us and prepare us for a great and terrible day. And to usher in the Antichrist. Israel was created in 1948. And a lot of people don't understand that prophecy is what we have to live by. It's what we go by, whether you know it or not. You know, Hollywood, what I was saying about Hollywood and demonic and all that other stuff, you might not believe in Satan, but they do. What's the point of there being a church of Satan in Hollywood? They believe it, but you guys don't believe it. A lot of you guys are just playing. How do you think I know? I'm not saying that I've sold my soul or anything like that, but I've done some things that I feel like I can't return from. Some things you're not supposed to play with. And it's real. Stuff is real. If you go playing with it, it opens up a door. And it makes you more susceptible to attacks. I was attacked. Listen, I can't tell all of it, but it's real. That's why I don't have anything to sell you. I make music, and I appreciate if you buy it or anything like that. But my testimony and my truth is to tell you a lot of that shit y'all doing on Sunday, it ain't doing nothing. What we're talking about right here, this is what people need to hear. Because they don't understand the reason that they keep catching hell is because they keep opening doors. And they don't understand that one door leads to another. One door leads to another. Now, I'm not perfect. I could go out and open up a door tonight. But I'm not, because I know better. But darkness grows the more you feed it. Now, we all have darkness. We all have light. That's the balance of light. You know, God created Satan. God created him. So how can you create something that you don't have? You have to have a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that to make something, complete it. The yin and yang of life. You know, God can be so much more terrible than the devil than you could ever even imagine. For the devil to be, and demons to be afraid of God, that really must be some scary stuff. So, that's what this is about, prophecy. Prophecy is what we have to go by. And in 1948, Israel was created. Prophecy was going even before then. The Egyptians, sorry, a little nasally, the Egyptians prophesied it. The Egyptians did a lot. I need to study more about that. But they did. And they were in tune. And they had technology. And they were a thriving society. And they were prophetic. We've always been a prophetic people. And they foretold some of the things that some people say that we're in Egypt right now because of the accuracy and the predictions that a lot of them made through their carvings and their writings and their drawings and all that good stuff. But there's also a predicted judgment day and a predicted time of tribulation and a predicted time of famine. We always have ups and then we have downs, highs and lows, good and bad, yin and yang, darkness and light. And as you can see in the floors of my studio, I have black and white. And that symbolizes the good and bad of life. We all have them. We all have them. You can interpret it how you want, but we all have them, whether you want to lie about it or not. Take a look in the mirror. And which is which also leads me to this guy. So Nick Cannon said 100% of something, owning something, is worth more than 50% of you owning your own masters, which is nothing. You are nothing, basically. Your music is worth nothing. So get signed to a label. Sign to a label. You need someone to back you so you can be worth something. A piece of paper. Right? So that's what this guy's talking about. Now, let me just be honest with you. Nick Cannon apologized to those Jews, right? After they called him out and checked him, they showed they nuts to him, and he showed bowed down and started licking. Because Nick is one of those people who, I don't know what his childhood upbringing was like, but you have to be accepted and be validated by people in order to feel successful. Your success is not internal, it's external. By the dollar amount, by the material, by how many deals you sign and who approves you. But a lot of people from Wild and Out are complaining about not being paid. A lot of people, but I mean, you apologizing to Jews, you're not apologizing to them. This is how niggas do each other. You want to shit on independent artists like me? You must not believe in the power of God. Because people like me, we find a way. And Nick, I pray for you. Because you talking like that and being sick, it's really got me worried. Because there's hope out here for everybody, including you. Me being an unsigned artist, I feel like, I mean, it's better on any day compared to you. And I don't want to compare, but I wouldn't want to have 25 baby mamas. My seed is precious. And we take advice from people like this. We take advice from people like this. But you apologizing to Jews. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. We don't want to hear that, Nick. And I give you all the respect and all that, but no, bro, I've been watching you since I was a little kid. I'm an unsigned, I'm an indie artist. I don't want no handouts. I'm going to own mine and own it. And if, we want to do a distribution deal, a publishing or anything like that, that's fine. But ownership is ownership. Own something. I don't know if you own Wild and Out. I don't know if you own Wild and Out. But that ain't it. And I just wanted to talk about that because, nah. Yeah, that was, and I think with Ty Tribbett, I think you should just I think you should just keep on going. I know you're going on tour, you're doing your thing, and I wish you all the best on that, brother. Even though I do think it's a little bit, what you call it, sketchy that you do that right before you go on your tour. But I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and just say that you did a brave thing, and you said something that needed to be said. A lot of us don't want to say anything else about the church or anything like that because it comes with a lot of backlash, but a lot of us have seen some things we shouldn't have seen and been through some things. I remember I heard Leandria Johnson. She said, I saw some shit I shouldn't have saw. And a lot of us, we did. And we can't get vengeance. We've prayed and talked about it, and we're tired of being patient, of waiting for the answer. We're human just like everybody else. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? And meanwhile, I have to come to church and be slapped in the face and disrespected. I can speak firsthand. I was slapped in the face and disrespected by people who tried to make it seem like I was a product of them, their son in the ministry. That's how it goes. And I'm glad whatever wake up call he had, maybe he needs a few more so he can, branch out a little bit more. You know, I see a lot more coming from Ty Tribbett. Uh, he's always been out of the box, always been different. Um, Now, I used to be a Carlton Pearson fan growing up. But one thing I couldn't get with was the hell not real thing. I believe hell is real. I'm sorry, guys. I believe it. Not because of hearsay, from what I've seen, when I was about 7 years old, I felt a very dark, dark, dark. I can't even explain it. Felt out of this world feeling like I wanted to cry. Something in the house felt wrong. And I look upstairs, and there's a black thing standing at the head of the stairs. And then it runs, it's like a shadow, it's like smoke. It ran into one of the rooms and bam, slammed the hell out of that door. And I jumped so hard and scared the shit out of me. It scared me. It was a spirit, a demon. It was a negative spirit. And whether hell may be something like that, where you spend the rest of eternity as an angry spirit, but I felt like that place, that thing came from some place different, because the level of hate and evil I felt was not good. And I've had a few experiences like that. And I've also had experiences that were angelic, that I saw something walk through the room, but I felt so much peace. I wasn't scared. The average person would freak out over what I saw. I saw a figure walk through the living room when I was I would say about 11 years old. It was about 10. Yeah. And it was shaped like a human, but it's so weird. It was like, you know how the heat comes off the pavement? It was like that. And you could see through it, but it was shaped like a human. And I heard the footsteps walking. And then it walked over by because it was around Christmas time, and started rubbing on the fireplace. And then one of the stockings fell over. I was not scared, though. I was not afraid. And that's the thing that I'm talking about. We like to box in God and box in ourselves through religion. But also, there is a such thing as heaven and hell. They put some truth into it, but they also restrict you by it. There's some truth. Even in the Hindu religions, they talk about heaven, hell, and nirvana, Buddhists, and all that other stuff. There's an afterlife. Don't neglect it. And the next thing I really want to talk about when I was talking about the leave the world behind thing, see, that movie was released by the Obamas. And Obama is a very powerful man. He deceived many to get the votes of pretty much all the black people in America, everyone pretty much. I remember everybody was just going out, Obama, Obama, Obama. But Obama had some scandal behind his name that nobody knew about. Like the very fact that at his church, Reverend Jeremiah Wright's church, um, in what was he? Chicago. Yeah, in Chicago. Trinity, I think, what's he called? Trinity? Um, two homosexual men, one of them was the choir director, came up dead. Both of them were found dead, execution style. And I can pull it up. Give me 1 second. Yeah, y'all. Donald Young. His name was Donald Young. Now, Mr. Young was the minister of music at Obama's church. Now, I'm telling you, they be having a bunch of goofy, nasty stuff going on at these churches. And I'm talking about sex parties and stuff. And Donald Young that young man right there, Donald Young. He was found dead in his he's found dead, and his mom blamed Obama. His mother blamed Obama. And another man in the choir turned up dead not too long after that. So let me do some more. 1 second. And a lot of people don't know about it. But Chicago police Chicago police said Young was found by his roommate about 7:30 a.m. Sunday, 23rd of December 2007, dead from multiple gunshot wounds, including at least one to the head. Young's roommate found the door to their apartment on East 69th Street closed but unlocked. Dr. Kimball Ladian to complete the book that claimed Young had been Obama's lover for over 20 years. Now, I've heard this before. I've heard before that Barack Obama swung that way. But when you're getting ready to run for president and someone's getting ready to try to expose you and you feel like you have a lot to lose, you might get a Donald Young situation. You might get something like that to, and then it'll get swept under the rug and nobody will ever remember him. Or at least what Obama thought. But I've had situations where I had to look at Obama from a different lens and say, hey, what is going to transpire in this man's future? I can't see him just sitting back in the sidelines and away from the spotlight and doing nothing. There's some shots being called. And when you see a Kamala Harris, and this was something that I was thinking before I saw the video that I'm getting ready to show you. I said when you see a Kamala Harris and the Joe Biden, you can't get anything else but, in my opinion, Obama. So let me play this real quick.
So I guess the Lord is giving a very clear understanding to those who know how to listen. He says, whoever you see sitting there, that is Obama, continuing to rule.
See, and I've been saying that.
People will go missing in Obama's era. Pure elimination of the competition. The prophecy for that was given to me on October 14th, 2022. That's the first prophecy that comes to mind. Two of them, actually.
Now, y'all, mind you, this is the woman who predicted that T.D. Jakes was going to have a fall last year. She predicted that he was a pedophile and doing a lot of grimy, nasty stuff, and he was going to be exposed. And now it's being exposed that he was grooming underage boys and doing this and doing that and the other. Now, I'm not the judge. God is the judge. But this is just a cautionary tale of what's done in the dark comes into the light. And what the Holy Spirit was revealing to me about Barack Obama is the exact. I wasn't revealed nothing. God didn't reveal anything to me about T.D. Jakes, but he showed me this about Obama. He showed me something wasn't right, whether this is an extreme way of expressing it through dreams and visions of him being this evil antichrist figure. Maybe it could be extreme, but I don't think so. This is just what I feel is true. And it's beginning to come true because it's felt so dark. What was so bad when Trump was president? It's felt so dark since Joe Biden has been in. Since this pandemic, they've shut this motherfucker down. They killed so many people. And they got Trump out of there, didn't they? Why? And it's felt horrible. People are dying left and right. You got kids having heart attacks now. The death rate is going up. And you got this old nasty fart sitting in the office. And that cackling whore, Kamala Harris, sitting by his side doing nothing, leading you to death, leading the sheep to slaughter. So let her continue.
The first one is called Ready Player One, and the second one is called Changes Ahead, You Will See Shaking. And in the Changes Ahead prophecy, that was part of a live prophecy prayer call, and the Lord was speaking about that Donald Trump would be taken out of the way, that Donald Trump will lose his life, and there are about 6 prophecies to that effect. That President Donald Trump will suffer an assassination, not attempt, but a successful assassination. God says that they will put that man to death. And the other prophecy that is called Ready Player One was talking about how the beast system and the rising of the beast who goes with it, the beast of Revelation 13 that God has revealed here multiple times, calling Barack Obama the beast of Revelation 13, the same beast that you can find in Daniel chapter 7 that will trample the residue with his feet. The same beast that you can find being talked about in Daniel chapter 12, where it says that the power of the holy people will be broken. And the power of the holy people will be broken by the same beast that we find in Revelation 13, that is going to be granted power to wage war against the saints and to prevail. I've covered all these things in previous prophecies, so I will not go into them. God says that in the era of Obama, there will be pure elimination of the competition. So the competition falls in 2 sections. Excuse me, please. The first section is the people that have been part of Obama's rise to the top. All the people who knew him from his suddenly appeared senator from Chicago days. All those people, that entire paper trail, those people are going to be absolutely eliminated. And now coming now into the current time, the modern era, that whole cache of people, we're talking the Clintons, we're talking whoever else, Bill and Hillary Clinton are the only names that the Lord specifically pointed out, also Kamala Harris. These people will all be eliminated. So they may celebrate with him at the time he takes his seat, or they may go to their respective gravestones before he takes his seat. Whatever the case may be, Barack Obama, the beast of Revelation 13, is a single player only, and he's not going to tolerate groupthink. This is not going to be a group dictatorship. This is not going to be we're all friends together here, let's give feedback on how we should run this new North Korea. It's not going to happen like that. He's going to be alone, and he will eliminate the competition. Everybody who was with him on his rise up, everybody who knows his true backstory, anybody who has gotten too close to have any understanding of how he functions, how he thinks, things he has done, both things in the public eye and things at the back. All that is competition. I spoke in 2022 in one of these prophecies. I'm going to list them in the description box. I wrote them all out here with the years and the days. But I spoke in 2022 and said that this is the modern era. The danger of the modern era is that someone will know your secrets, and then depending on how the person feels about how you're treating them as you're on your way up to the top. So this is the dangerous era, because the Lord was saying that this is the era of cell phones. People get disgruntled when they're holding your dirty laundry, and then you're starting to act more and more on camera like you don't have dirty laundry. Then they go live, and then they say, well, I was there when the shirt of the laundry got dirty, and I was there when the pants of the laundry got dirty, and I know where all the dirty socks are.
That's basically it. I'm just saying, there's something getting ready to happen. and I have a feeling, I have a bad feeling about that guy that she was just talking about. Because for one, he was over. Well, I got a bad feeling when he was over there with Fidel Castro, and I was in high school, and he had a very strange infatuation with Fidel Castro, and began to get clear to me, and I'm beginning to think Trump is a part of the decoy as well, because of the simple fact that right after I had that vision and that revelation, Trump became president, and they have this yin and yang, like I said, dark and light, up and down. Wow, y'all, it's coming full circle. The yin and yang, dark and white battle between Obama and Trump, or Hillary and Trump. And then Obama was really backing Hillary and attacking Trump, and Trump talking shit about Obama. You know, the world is a stage. Hollywood's a stage. There's a big club and you ain't in it. George Carlin said it best. And they tell you without telling you. You should have knew when Obama was over there with Fidel Castro. All they have to do is put us into a scenario of what I was talking about earlier. Leave the world behind. And you'll be ready and submissive and ready to do whatever they tell you to do. Who are you? You are nothing to them. You want to eat, don't you? You want a place to stay. It's cold out here. And what you going to do? You going to go against the system? Big Brother is always watching. And Obama knows that. Trump knows that. The powers that be know that. So they want to depend on you being stupid and not having any confidence in yourself. But I have enough confidence in myself to know that he who is in me is greater than who is in the world. So I can fight back. I'm going to fight back, and a lot of it, I don't even have to fight back. I'm shielded. I'm protected. And that's also a part of the prophecy. God's chosen people. The kings and queens of God. The sons and daughters of God. And I just want to talk about this thing here. We got spirits out here. It's a spiritual warfare. The Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So let me play this for you.
One day you just are happy and shit. And you know, I see this. One day I was sitting down at the TV, and for a couple of minutes I started feeling negative. And you ever get to the point you just start feeling negative, and then when you think about it, you don't even know what you're feeling negative about. You ever think you say, oh shit, I'm in trouble about something, and then you weigh it, you start feeling worried, and then you think about it, you say, goddamn, I ain't got nothing to be worried about. Not to the point where I don't have anything to be worried. You really can't find nothing that you were supposed to be worried about in the first place. That's the entities getting at you. You see what I'm saying? Getting at you. And then when if you get weaker and weaker, so the masses, they don't know about that. So they just like open.
Let me rewind it so you can see it again.
They'll come in and whisper shit in your ear and telling you thoughts or low thoughts to make you feel depressed, and you thinking it's your own thoughts. And one day you'll be up, and the next day you'll be down. You're gonna be fucking entities in your shit, and you thinking it's your own thoughts. One day you just happy and shit. And you know, I see this. One day I was sitting down at the TV, and for a couple of minutes I started feeling negative, and you ever get to the point you just start feeling negative, and then when you think about it, you don't even know what you're feeling negative about. You ever think you say, oh shit, I'm in trouble about something, and then you weigh it, you start feeling worried, and then you think about it, you say, goddamn, I ain't got nothing to be worried about.
Well,
Not to the point where as I don't have anything to be worried. You really can't find nothing that you were supposed to be worried about in the first place. That's the entities getting at you. You see what I'm saying? Getting at you. And then if you get weak in it.
so we entertain, the Bible says, we entertain spirits unaware or angels unaware. Angels can come in human form and like in the form of a homeless person or in the form of a dog, cat, anything. They're angels. A dove, a butterfly. But we also can entertain demons unaware. And that video right there is what is roaming through the streets of America. If you could see underneath the makeup and eyelashes and weave and um, artificial beauty and the beauty, even the natural beauty of a woman, a lot of their spirits in America may look like that thing that was going from table to table, a demon. If you could see them, they look like a dog with 3 tails and a snake face and a red beast with fangs and a large tail and claws. That's what a lot of their spirit will look like. If you can see the spirit of the guy who's got all the clout, all the women, all the money, all the power, all the fame that you see from the outside, from the surface, and it seems like he's running the city of Houston because he's the top rapper, or he's got the most clout. If you can see his spirit, it will look like a 3-eyed demon. It would look like a purple and black reptilian, black-eyed species demon, because that's what's roaming America. Because I see it through the spirit realm. I look at people in the eye when they talk to me. I have dreams and visions, and the Bible says that that Mystery Babylon, which in my opinion represents America, Mystery Babylon will become, in the last days, the inhabitant of every foul spirit. Every foul spirit. And what else is that but America? America is Sodom and Gomorrah. Everything before the days of Noah. Everything from everything from Egypt. Everything that was destroyed is America. So that's the time that we're at. And then you want to question me about an Obama? That's the time we're at. They shut the whole country down, and you guys rushed out to go and do what? To get this. And you don't know what it is. But, guys, this was a good episode of King Talk. I don't want to get into too much because it's late. And I'm going to start doing this more because this was fun. As I get to get more comfortable with this software, we will grow and we will do the darn thing. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. And until next time, this is King Talk. Be blessed and have a good night.